Typhoon Marce is slowly tracking off the northern coastline of Luzon today, and then even in its wake, we could be looking at another area of low pressure that could increase rainfall for a good portion of northern Luzon as we go ahead through the weekend and the next week. Plenty to talk about today in today's Western Pacific weather update, so let's get into it. And first, I want to start off with a look at our current satellite imagery because, yeah, Marce is here, and it's pretty much stalled out. Still a typhoon, got a ragged eye on it, so it is seeing a bit of shear. It's not expected to rapidly intensify or anything like that. Key thing I can see here, though, if we actually pull up the infrared satellite imagery, is the southern edge of the convection. It's right about there as this is stalled out and expected to kind of track right off like that. So you extrapolate those winds, and including, let's say the impacts from the mountains here, you're going to be looking at kind of all of Cagayan, looking at some of the worst of the weather here. But once you start getting south of that into Isabela, definitely down towards places like Pangasinan, it's vastly going to improve away from that low-level center of circulation. Now, once it moves off towards the west, you still could see some of that backside inflow, but just in general, I think the core of that convection is going to be staying basically central Isabela north, where some of the heaviest of the rain is going to be taking place as this tracks off here further towards the west throughout your day on Thursday and into Friday. So the rain going to be a big issue here. Let's actually look at Thursday. Yeah, parts of Isabela could be seeing 50 to 100 millimeters, over 200 millimeters out here in Cagayan. And then you look overhead towards Friday, see how that moisture kind of wraps around from the west side as this moves further off there towards the west. So yeah, it's really about that core, the damaging low level center with this storm system. It is tightly wrapped up. We're not seeing kind of the bulk of the heaviest of the rainfall displaced like we've seen with the last few storms, in fact. So let's actually go back here. We're going to take a look at the forecast track per the Japan Meteorological Agency, and kind of showing you what I'm talking about here with that low level center tracking along like this right over northern Luzon. It does weaken out over the mountains there a bit, but the core kind of stays right there across northern areas of the island, and eventually our storm system starts to weaken due to an increase in vertical wind shear as it gets further off towards the west, and a kind of a higher resolution look of what I was just talking about here. And yeah, you see, places in the northern areas of the Cagayan Valley looking at not a lot, but northwestern Luzon definitely going to kind of get the worst of it. And even places like Apari, Ilocos Norte, extending down towards Candon, San Fernando, you're going to be looking kind of in the backside of those winds wrapping it around with this storm system as we go ahead through our day on Friday. So tropical storm strength conditions, much likely. Why is it stalled out here? Why is it not moving north? All to do with, this cold surge we're continuing to see. And our high pressure ridge further towards the east is supporting kind of something else coming out like that. I don't like this at all. Why? Well, back-to-back storm systems, and this could be a very similar outcome. I don't see anything that would indicate a full-on typhoon here, but maybe another tropical storm increasing rainfall by the weekend, unfortunately. Goodness, just can't catch a break, can we? So yeah, heavy rainfall. If we go look at this graphic here, over 100 millimeters, 200 millimeters in northern areas of Cagayan, but then you see the last couple frames, how that precip kind of kicks on in, and yeah, it's another look. Look at the waves, though. Big surge out here on the west side of the Philippines. Anywhere out here, not good for traveling. Definitely going to be a rough go out there in the high seas just because of those swells that have absolutely massive coming in, not only from this storm, but from the cold surge coupled with it. So, yeah, if you're out ahead of this storm system right now, especially northern Luzon, I know you might get typhoon fatigue at this point. But make sure you're making those preparations. You've been through them, but what I mean by typhoon fatigue is that I've been through them. I survived the last 3 with no problem. Why would I worry about this one? I mean, I've been there before. Why should I even prepare? Or I didn't prepare last time, so this time I should be just fine. That's typhoon fatigue, and I think a good portion, rightfully so, considering all the storms we have gotten, a good portion of northern Luzon is starting to get that back-to-back storm systems. My goodness, I feel for you guys. People are saying this year the Big Bend area of Florida has been getting it. Nah, the Batanes Islands in northern Luzon, just, you can't catch a break. So I'm going to do my best to keep you guys posted on this storm system. Of course, I got other things going on in my neck of the woods, including covering Raphael. But yeah, number one thing, if you are out here in the northern areas of Luzon, we're watching it, and boy, I'm keeping an eye on the backside of this, because I mean, let's just actually show you the ECMWF guidance for Monday morning. Compare that up with the GFS for heading into Sunday over towards Monday. Actually, GFS has been a lot weaker than ECMWF. It's kind of interesting. But both do indicate an increase in precipitation by Sunday, just because of a broad area of low pressure coming on shore, which, yeah, definitely could increase that chance of some rainfall. I mean, this is looking through Sunday and over towards Wednesday with the ECMWF, and that is secondary rainfall after the impacts from our current storm system out here, Marce. So, yeah, it never ends. Anyways, all right, that's a look at what's happening out here today. Hey, back to those Patreon members. If you want to support this channel, please do so. Link is down below. Hit that like and subscribe button. Number one thing, as always, is stay safe out there, friends. Have a great day.